All right, I think we're live. So, as the title says, it's been a little while. So, I thought I'd jump on and say g'day to everyone. I know my uploads and everything have been pretty lackluster lately. But there is stuff in the works, things that are coming. Liam, how you going? Burnt One, how are ya? Luke, how you going, mate? So yeah, I thought I'd jump on and say hello to everyone. See what's new in everyone's lives and reptile lives. B. Simpson, how are you? So I hope everyone's having a pretty good season. I've gotten most of my babies out now, but I'm still waiting on a few things, so fingers crossed it's sooner rather than later. How have I been? Yeah, I've been pretty good. A few new things going on, and yeah, just really busy with work and everything. So, it's a busy time of year during this warmer part of the season. So, yeah, it's non-stop. Been into blue tongues for a while, and my two Easterns had 9 babies. That's awesome. My female Eastern had babies the other day, and you've done a lot better than me. She only had 2 babies that were good. So, yeah, a bit of a bummer season with the Easterns this year, but it is what it is. I'll be at the expo this Sunday. Fingers crossed I will be. I'll probably have to go and suss it out, pick up a few things. So I should be there. Should be fun. So if anyone's watching this and they don't know, there will be a reptile expo this Sunday. I believe it's the Penrith Expo. So that's exciting. It's been quite a long while since there's been an expo. So yeah, hopefully it's good. Hopefully there's some cool critters there available and on display. So yeah, I know a few cool things that will possibly be there. So it should be a lot of fun. Hartley Russell, how you going? Should have some baby children's pythons hatching any day now. Oh, that's awesome. I've never bred snakes myself, but yeah, I'm not sure what I'd want to start with. I was tempted to breed the pygmy python, which is living over here now. I've had a bit of a shuffle in the reptile room. There's new things happening, which we'll know about more soon. But yeah, I did consider breeding the pygmy python, but after hearing how horrendous the neonates can be to get started, I just thought, it's not really worth my time. I'll just keep her as a pet, and it's more enjoyable that way, no doubt. But yeah, good luck with the baby children's pythons. I've heard they can be a bit 50-50 whether or not they start out pretty well, but I think you got better chances with that than the pygmy pythons. That's why I like breeding blue tongues. They're bloody easy to get started. You just pop them down in front of some dog food and they're into it right away after being born an hour ago. They don't care. Recently got a baby bearded dragon from Camo. Not sure how long it takes them to be full grown. Would you know how long? Just depends how much you're feeding and stuff. The heat, if you give it a winter, lots of different factors there. Just keep it the best you can, and it'll take as long as it needs to. First crack at breeding snakes this year. Yeah, cool. Oh, I hope it works out well for you, man. I do love the Antaresia. They're bloody awesome snakes. My one just shed the other day. She's looking beautiful. So, I might actually check on her, see if I can get her out, show you guys. So she is such an awesome little snake. Just the perfect little pet. Doesn't need a lot of space. Once they're established like this, they're really good feeders. They don't get too big, so there's not a lot of cleanup. They're just absolutely beautiful. I love this little snake. Would I give my baby blueies a winter this year, or should I keep them in the heat? Only 6 weeks old. I personally, just for me, I like to give, in the first year, baby blue tongues, like to keep them with heat. Just gives them a good start to life, and then after that, I give them full winters when they're a bit older and stronger. And try breeding central carpets and more children's pythons later this year. Nice. Hey Coop, hope you're well. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Hanging out with the little snake. So she has just moved into my room here now. She was out in a different area before, and it's just been so cool to watch her cruising around at night and stuff, a lot more than I was before. Such a cool snake. Jake, how you going? So yeah, the old pygmy pythons, they they don't get it much bigger than this. She's such a perfect size little pet. What age can a female blue tongue mate? Well, I've seen people breed blue tongues are a year old, which is doesn't always have the best results. So I usually wait till they're about 2 years old or more. If you breed them too young and too small, they can have reproductive issues and things. So best to be safe and go with 2 years plus. It just depends on the size of the animal and its condition. So. Very nice pygmy python. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm glad I got this little snake. It's the only snake I have currently, but yeah, it's all I really need at the moment. Especially with work, I can get my snake fix at work, that's for sure. She got a name yet? Yeah, this one's name is Pig, or Piggy, because she loves her food. And she's a pygmy python, so it's kind of a play on that. Blame my girlfriend for that name. But no, she's just an awesome animal. How's Crowley going? Yeah, Crowley's good. He's living his life up the back. You'll see him soon in Luke's video. Luke from Beach of Scaly Beasts. He came over last weekend, I believe it was, or maybe the one before, and he actually filmed a bit of a video on my whole collection here. So Crowley appears in that. You'll see him there. So won't be too long. Luke will have that video out. You'll be able to watch it. G'day, Fry. How are ya? Miss Piggy. How big do the pygmy beauties get? There's one sitting right there. I'll grab her out next. I won't grab her out while the pygmy python's out because these guys eat a lot of lizards in the wild, so I don't want her getting too much of that scent at the same time. Such a cool snake. It's your oldest lizard. I've owned my blue tongues for 20 plus years. That's awesome. Oldest I have currently is probably that one there. She's about 13 or 14, I think. But I did used to have some old blue tongues and stuff years ago that were adults when I got them, and I had them for 10 years. So who knows how old they actually were. But at the moment, yeah, it is probably that one up there. Hey, you're not very old. This one's only about 2 years old, I think. A bit less. I was just at High Tech. Oh, cool. Just say good day to Luke. If you go to the expo, any particular reptile you're looking for? Not sure, because I'm hopefully about to get some other new reptiles from another place. But things that would jump out to me are any sort of cool little skinks, rare skinks. Otherwise, common tree snakes would be pretty cool. And if there's a female Gillen's monitor, which I highly doubt. But those are kind of the only things at the moment. But I probably don't have the funds for any of those things I really want at the moment. Actually, in saying that, speaking of cool little skinks, if anyone has night skinks, I would love a couple of night skinks. So I know they're pretty pricey, but I'll pay the money as long as they're healthy. How old is Crowley? I think he's about 4 or 5 now. I'd have to check. Dreams to own a Boyd someday. I got myself a pair of angleheads since the care is relatively similar. They're super cool. Yeah, angleheads are amazing. Make sure you check out the videos I've done on finding angleheads in the wild. Amazing species. Very, very cool. I love them a lot. And I've seen quite a few in the wild now, so it's cool to see their habitat and how they live. Something along the lines of a sand swimmer. I probably wouldn't keep sand swimmers. They're really cool, but I like a few different things. I like the spiny tail skinks and the night skinks. Are probably the two that I'm most after at the moment. I don't have a hell of a lot of room for many more reptiles, so if I get something new, it's got to be pretty special. Got a hypermelanistic blue tongue. They're awesome. Yeah, they're cool animals. You heard of the Egyptian sandfish? I believe I have. I think they're pretty similar to sand swimmers, at least in how they live. Didn't know night skinks were a thing. But they're awesome. Now I want some. Good luck finding some. They're very, very rare in captivity. But they're very cool lizards. Proud owner of a pair of Boyds. Love the channel, man. Keep up the great work. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for watching. I've seen those videos of you finding angleheads. They're awesome. Yeah, a lot of fun finding those guys. Lucky to get a hold of a sand swimmer. Had some attitude. Yeah, they're not really handling animals, I don't think, but it was fun to watch. What snake is that you're holding? So this is a pygmy python. This is my little pygmy python. This is almost full grown, so they're the smallest python species in the world. They're absolutely beautiful. Would you sell any blotchies to Brizzy? This season, I'm getting so many messages from people in and around Brisbane for all sorts of different reptiles. I don't know what's going on in Brisbane at the moment, but everyone wants reptiles, it seems. But I prefer not to freight animals if I don't have to. So it's only if I can't sell anything locally or down here or anything, then I'll look into freighting. So you kind of get the last stuff, whatever's left, if there's anything. But what were you after? Blotchies, yeah. Send me a message on my Facebook page, and I'll tell you a few different breeders that are up in Brisbane way, which you could maybe try. Remember me and my friends from the reptile park, we held the shingleback. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, I remember you guys. So I might pop this little one back. So everyone say bye to pig. She just wants to go the other way. But yeah, they're such cool little snakes. I think more people should have these pygmy pythons. All right. All right, so this is about as big as a pygmy beard you'll ever get. Like I said, this girl is probably about 14 years old now, so not very big. She has a big belly. Not sure why. I think she might have some eggs in there or something, but yeah, perfect little pet lizard. I reckon they're way better than central beardies personally, but yeah, it's a very cool animal. Is it possible to make a bioactive plywood enclosure that I can disassemble when moving? It depends what it's for. I would be very cautious of making a plywood enclosure that's bioactive just because of how much moisture bioactives typically need. So if it's like form ply or melamine that's sealed well, might be able to get away with it. But if it has any sort of porousness to it, I'd be worried about it rotting or warping over time. Do you own any ridgetail monitors? I'm getting one in a few weeks. I do not, but I do have a Gillen's monitor, which is like a little tree version of another small monitor here in Australia. It's kind of those, or Ackies are usually the first monitor people get. And I got the little tree dragon. But Ackies are very cool. Love the vids. Oh, thank you. What time is it out there? It is 7:42 p.m. Do you know what some of the favourite foods for shinglebacks are? Maybe you can recommend a recipe to make yourself. Lots of different greens and flowers and fruits and stuff. So any of the blue tongue species will love eating some endive, bok choy, rocket, hibiscus flowers, native violet, kale, dandelions. They love dandelions. As far as fruits go, blueberries, banana, but they're a bit more sparingly. And yeah, stuff like that. 14 years is a bloody good pygmy. Yeah, she's doing well. Doing well. Still chases you for food very ferociously for a pygmy. It's just a chunky lady. Yeah, I don't know. She just packs on weight real easy at this age, I guess. Why don't you have any shinglebacks? I have 15 at the moment and more babies on the way. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. I don't keep shinglebacks because I have too many blue tongues as it is. Shinglebacks are cool, but they're not really my thing as much as the blueies. If someone wants to give me a very nice Goldfield shingleback, I would happily take it. But otherwise, nah. I work with a lot at work as well, so I don't have too much of an urge to keep them at home. I'd rather keep something like this behind me if I can get it out. which I probably can't. But, or something like these guys. You can see their little heads. So those are a pair of Centralian blue tongues cuddling up together. Very cute. But I'd rather keep something like that than a shingleback. No offense to shinglebacks, but I personally enjoy the some of the rarer blueies a bit more. What's in the tank besides pig? This one? Nothing yet, but something that's coming very soon, hopefully. So that's going to be my next video, is putting that tank together. It's not even finished yet, so yeah, it's exciting. It's going to be for a leopard gecko, so 35-50% humidity. I'll have some kind of inner lining on the bottom for the soil. Oh yeah, for sure. In that case, then that would absolutely work, I think. Wouldn't have any problems with that. Speaking of Ackies, I may be getting one soon. That's awesome. Yeah, I've often considered getting an Ackie, but I don't know. I think I'd rather get something like a King Orem or a Stores, something a little different. But no, Ackies are amazing. The stream is perfect for me. I'm a night owl. Hope you and everyone reading this is doing amazing. Oh, well, thank you. I have a massive outdoor enclosure that I put my almost 2 feet blue tongue in. Can I keep her out all winter? Oh, it depends where you live and how it's set up. Just look through some of my videos and see how I keep mine. And depending on where you live, if you're in the natural range, then it can absolutely be done. Went camping at the Stay and came back to campsite after fishing, and a Lacey was raiding the camp. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, those Laceys do not care. How many Alpines do you currently keep? Don't ask me that. That's a dangerous question. I'll go grab a couple just because of that. Oh, so I keep quite a few Alpines at the moment. I've got about 12 babies at the moment, these being some of them, and then a bunch of adults and a bunch of yearlings I kept back. So quite a few. I don't even know, to be honest with you. Can we have a look at your tree monitor? The Gillen's monitor. I don't know if he's out. I'll have a look after the blueies, see if he's out. These guys are adorable. And if anyone's going to the expo and you're after a blotchy, maybe send me a message on my Facebook page, because I do have a couple of blotchies available at the moment. I thought I'd mention it here before I post it on my page, just so if anyone wants to jump over a bit early and maybe secure one, they can. So yeah, they're very pretty. Love the head colors on some of them this year. But yeah, we'll have a few of these guys available as of maybe tonight. So yeah, send me a message to my Facebook page if you're interested. What was your first reptile? My first reptile was a little species of dragon. I think it might have been a Tommy Roundhead, some sort of Diprifera that's up in North Queensland, because we just caught them out of my backyard. I thought they were cool when I was 4 years old. So that would have been my first reptile. Like Centralians and Westerns, want some, but have to get my R2 license. Yeah, that's the crappy thing about New South Wales is R2, R1, just annoying, very annoying. If you had to keep an illegal animal, what would it be? Oh, probably some sort of tree monitor, like a blue tree monitor or a green tree monitor, something like that. There's so much cool stuff out there. Tortoises are always cool. But yeah, it's very hard to decide with all the animals out there. Like chameleons. Chameleons are really cool. I had some hay to my shingleback enclosure, and now I never see them. They just constantly bury themselves. Yeah, that sounds about right. How old are the blotchies you're holding? About 2 weeks, maybe, if that. Yeah, they're chunky little things. They're very cute. Did you keep that grumpy baby from last year? I did. I just looked at him earlier, actually. I'm not sure if it's a girl or a boy. If it's a boy, then he might have to go home with someone else, but we'll see. Are the blueies your favourite to keep? They're one of the favourites. I like everything I keep for different reasons. So I love these guys because they're super cute at this size. They'll eat anything, and you can keep them outside eventually. But then something like my Gillen's monitor, he's just so fun to interact with and watch running around being an absolute psycho. So everything has its own pros and cons, really. Love small reptiles. It's so easy to go over their minimum enclosure size, which is nice since the hobby is constantly upping the care standards. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. That's why I like moving more towards the smaller stuff, so I can give the individuals a lot more to do and make a better habitat for them. They're a lot bigger than my 6-week-old Easterns. Yep, these guys could probably eat a baby Eastern blue tongue as soon as they come out, so it's pretty crazy. Again, I think in Luke's video, when Luke came over and filmed not long ago, we compared the baby Easterns I just had and then some of these guys, and yeah, it's amazing, just the size difference. Love the head scales. Yeah, they got real pretty little heads. So colourful. Ever been bitten by a bluey? Yep, many times. It does not feel nice. All right, I'm going to pop these guys back real quick. So I think we have to look for the Gillen's monitor. So I think he's out. Let's take a look. So he's just up in the top corner there. You can see his head. So it's almost nighttime for him. Sometimes he likes to sleep on the back wall there. Come on, you gonna come out? Nah, he's being shy. He thinks it's time to sleep, which it really is. My lights aren't normally on this late. But that's him up there. So it's a very cool animal. Easterns probably have 2 times more babies. Exactly right. So Easterns have a lot larger litters of smaller sized babies, and then blotchies have bigger babies but smaller litters. Would your favorite bluey? What's my favorite bluey species? I do really like the blotchies, just for all-round care and their colours and everything. They're really cool, but you know, it's kind of a 3-way tie between them, the Westerns and the Centralians. They're all cool. How many pairs of Alpines do you breed? I've got 3 pairs, hopefully this season, but more next season, no doubt. Is it okay to Western raise them together? I'm not sure what you mean. Got our first Eastern Blue Tongue last year, and this week she just turned 1. Shouldn't have done it. Couldn't have done it without your videos. Oh, no worries at all. I appreciate that I could help you guys out. It's nice to hear that your videos and all the time you put in actually help people. So, yeah, that's awesome. When will you get a shingle back? Everyone's going to get a shingle back. First it was everyone, oh, get a snake, get a snake. Now I've got a snake, it's all about the shingle backs. It's my first plywood build. What is the hardest step in the building process that I should know about? I'm not sure. I mean, just plan it well, you know, have everything ready to go, and you should be fine. Found that the Easterns are very dull compared to the other species. Dull as in like calm, or dull as in boring. The Easterns can be very cool as well, just because we see them a lot and they're very common that we start to overlook them a bit. But it is hard to beat something like that. It's just stunning. Look at that thing. So this is one of the baby Westerns from last season. I think this one's a girl. This one's my favorite. Just, oof, look at it. Yeah, that's a very, very cool lizard. She's a sweetheart. Yeah, for me it's hard to beat the coloration of the Westerns. They're just living art. Look at those patterns. So bloody cool. Aren't you? She looks healthy, well kept, very pretty. Yeah, she's the best. She just shed too, so you're seeing it as good as it gets, really. Skinks have such pretty scale, texture, and colour. Yeah, absolutely. What is the rarest blue tongue species to obtain in Australia? Probably a pygmy blue tongue, if you could ever obtain them. Otherwise, the Westerns and the Centralians aren't very common either. Especially the Centralians. All right. Ferns and fantails. How you going? In the colours. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, there's some Easterns that have insane colours. But it just depends what you're into. Skinks. Can you keep Eastern blue babies outdoors from day one? You can, absolutely. I've done that before. They just grow a lot slower, and I find don't do as well because they're so scared of everything. They just want to hide all the time. So it's rare they'll come out for much food and water and stuff. So I usually find it's a bit better to raise them up for a bit indoors and then go from there. It's a big difference about Western blue tongues compared to other blue tongues. Just the coloration, really, and the scalation's a bit different. Their head scales and stuff look a bit different to other blue tongues. The tails are usually a bit thinner too, and it's a bit of a different body structure. Are you doing any more enclosure upgrades in the future? I haven't been able to look at your videos in a while. So I've just been setting up this enclosure here. This is a new one behind me. It's not done yet, but yeah, when it's done, it should look pretty cool, and getting some new animals in there. Otherwise, there's always things I want to do and make better. Yeah, there's always plans in the works. Just it's all about time. should get some northern blue tongues. I have a few, and they're awesome. Also live in Australia. Northerns aren't really for me. I prefer to keep Easterns if I'm going to keep skincoides. But I visited some guys the other day who have a bunch of Northerns and stuff, and the size on them is just unbelievable. They're a giant blue tongue, aren't they? They're massive, but they're not really for me. I prefer the blotchies and the arid stuff. So, yeah, very cool though. Do you have a Stimson's python? I don't anymore. It's my girlfriend's python. But yeah, we'll be seeing that one again soon, I think. Might have to make it another enclosure. I suspect that even if you could get a pygmy, it would just be keeping deep dirt vivarium with a hole in it 99%. 100%. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Unless you feed them or something like that, I think they spend most of their time down in their little spider burrow. So pretty boring species to keep, to be fair, but it would just be cool to just have them. Blue tongues kind of chill with you, or they run off. It depends on the individual. Some will want to run off, some will just hang out. Just depends on the animal. They're all got their own personalities. I've heard that keeping blue tongues together is dangerous. I see that you have your Centralians together. Have you ever dealt with yours fighting? No. So it just, again, it depends on individuals and species. So I found the Westerns, the Centralians, blotchies, all those species are usually pretty good together, unless it's two males. Two males is always going to be an issue. But if it's pairs, or sometimes trios, with one male, multiple females, then they usually don't have problems with those species. But there is always exceptions to the rule, and yeah, it's always safer in general just to keep one by itself. But yeah, that sort of thought and idea usually comes from overseas, where they mostly have only northern blue tongues available, and northern blue tongues are absolute savages typically, that will mess each other up at any opportunity. A skink, I reckon, should keep an eye out for either shingle tongue, shingleback cross blue tongue. I mean, it's an interesting thing if it happens by accident, but I'm not a fan of hybrids of anything really. They look pretty crazy when they come out, but they're not for me. For your boys, do you use any kind of heating in winter, or are they okay to handle the cold? They're totally fine to handle the cold. Up in their range, it can get into single digits, no worries at all. Northerns are so common outside Australia, but in Australia I mostly just see Easterns. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Second video reviewing people's enclosures. That's not a bad idea. I would just need people to send through their enclosures again, and hopefully get some good new ones. But yeah, I'm open to doing that. I'll probably give it a bit more time, just so the new enclosures can get made, and gives people time to send them in. But yeah, I'll do that again for sure. Having some difficulty sexing my 11-month-old ankle-headed dragons. Do you have any tips? Is there some aggression happening between a few of them, which I think is due to them starting to mature? Yeah, so angleheads have color dimorphism as they age. So as adults, males don't have patterning. They're more one color all over, whereas females will have patterning, especially around the lips. They'll have a pattern, and then down their back as well, they'll have different patterning as well. Now, when they're younger, you might not be able to see that. So you can go back to my video I put out. It's called Sexing Australian Dragons. There's a few different techniques on there, which I go through, one being the torch method, where you can shine a torch through the base of their tail. You'll be able to see if the male has any blood vessels going to his hemipenes. Otherwise, there's a few other methods there as well. So watch that video and then take a look. So they should be pretty easy to sex once you look at those factors there. What computer fans do you use? They were just off eBay. They're a 12 by 12 centimeter USB plug-in computer fan. I think I have one here. So, just these. They work well. Can't remember how much they are. They weren't that very expensive at all. So yeah. Yeah, Western blue tongues. Yes, I had one out just a minute ago. Can you name all the names of the shingleback? It's too many to name. Shinglebacker, bog-eye, bobtail, pinecone lizard, sleepy lizard. Just go on and on. Does it annoy you when people call lizards snakes? It doesn't happen too often in my experience, so that's fine. I'll be annoyed if someone thinks a lizard is a snake and then tries to kill it because they think it's a snake. Pink tongues, what is your opinion on them? I love them. Beautiful animals. Very, very cool. I saw my first wild ones this season, which will be in an upcoming video. Very cool little lizards. Very grumpy though. But no, I love pink tongues. They're something I've been umming and ahhing about for a long time, and as to whether or not I should get some. I will eventually one day, I think, but no, they're very cool. Very cool. I like your old videos where you visited other people's reptile rooms. Looking to do any more of those with the lockdowns easing? Yes, absolutely. I just went to a guy's place 3 days ago, who I will eventually do a video with. He has an amazing reptile room. Very, very cool. He just needs to get a few things in order before I can film. And then otherwise I've got another guy as well who I'm just waiting for him to set up in his new house. And I'll hopefully go film with him as well. So it's always something I want to do, is those Keepers Collections episodes. But obviously, yeah, with lockdown and people being busy and just finding people that are actually willing to do it, it's a lot harder than it seems. So hopefully soon, yeah. Hopefully very, very soon. It's been way too long. How do you find breeders in your area? How do you get animals from breeders if there is another state or town? Usually just online, talking to people, looking for what's available online. And then if I need to get something from another state, and just freight it through Qantas Freight or something like that. Love your content. Thank you very much. Are you aware of the new restrictions that have been implemented on Americans keeping reptiles? I've been seeing a lot about it. I don't really know too much about it. I haven't really looked into it. But yeah, hopefully it won't be brought through. I'm sure you'll still be a lot more free to do what you want than we are here in Australia, that's for sure. Found a wild pink tongue, I think 4 years ago. I want to find them again. Last year I got a pink tongue. So I would recommend getting one or two. Fair enough. What's the rarest reptile you've seen? Seen in the wild or just seen? So I've seen pretty rare ones. But in the wild, I don't think I've seen anything that's too crazy rare, unfortunately. Not yet, anyway. But I mean, I've seen, Owen pythons, stuff like that, just not in the wild. So it depends on if you mean wild or captive. Just go herping in the Nullarbor. When WA lets us in. I'd love to. That wouldn't be the first place I go, though. Got a few other places I'd rather go before that. But yeah, I'll get there eventually. I'd love to find another ball beardy. That'd be sick. Appreciate you sharing your knowledge about these reptiles. Stay safe through COVID. Keep the vids coming. Hope the best 2022 for you, mate. Thank you, B. Smith. Wild ones. Yeah, like I said, I haven't found anything too crazy in the wild. At least, yeah. But I will have a herping video coming out in a little while from this season, and I found a few nice little local things. There's still time left. Yeah, I really need to get out and do some trips elsewhere in the country to find the really cool stuff. Think about getting a Mertens water monitor. Would you have any advice? Think long and hard and build an enclosure well in advance that can adequately house an adult, which most people cannot do. Most people can't even come close to doing. So, yeah. Do you ever feed rodents to your blue tongues and shinglebacks? Yes. Occasionally I'll give them a pinky, something like that. Not very often, but occasionally when needed. A Western blue tongue, don't know male or female. Is there a different appearance between male and female? It can be very hard. But males, like most blue tongues, males typically have thinner hips. Not necessarily a bigger head, a shorter body, with more of a V shape to their body. And those are the main things, really. Ever kept Pregona minor? Are they similar to Henry Lawsono? I haven't. I think a lot of beardies have quite similar care, to be honest. I can't imagine there'd be too many differences between the species that are in captivity anyway. We get another snake. Not anytime soon, but in the future I wouldn't mind getting a green tree python, something like that. Build a pond, build a background around it. Awesome. Well, nearly 8:15. Not bad. I better get going, guys. Like I said, yeah, make sure you head to the expo if you can. I might see you there. Yeah, otherwise, keep a lookout for new videos coming soon. Hopefully sooner rather than later. It's just a very busy time for me. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed having a bit of a chat. It was great to see you all. And yeah, I'll hopefully see you all very, very soon. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you later.